Hello, my name's Fire Marshal Rick, and I work for the Prairie Township Fire Department. We've teamed up with Southwestern City School District to recognize October as Fire Safety Month. But remember that just because we learn about fire safety in the month of October doesn't mean that's the only month that we practice it. Fire safety goes on all year long, day, night, all the time. So I'm going to take off my mask right now because I'm in the room by myself. Here at the fire department, just like you at school, we have to wear a mask when we have several people in the room. So you'll be seeing videos that we've made up of fire training that some of the firemen, there'll be 2 firemen or 3 firemen in the room at the same time, and they'll have masks on. And if they're talking to you and they're just the only one there, then they won't have a mask on. So we're just like you as far as practicing to be as safe as we can when we're around other people. Hi, I'm Fire Marshal Rick again, and we're here to talk about Learn Not to Burn. Since I'm by myself, I'll go ahead and take my mask off. All right, so Learn Not to Burn basically is we want to teach you to not get burnt with matches or lighters or anything hot. Okay, so we want you to stay away from the hot things. Don't touch them. They can cause serious burns, and burns they really hurt bad, and they can take a long time to heal. Sometimes you even have to go to the hospital. Children should stay away from matches and lighters because matches and lighters cause many deaths and fires every year in the United States. Matches and lighters should be locked in a cabinet, out of reach of children altogether. So don't touch matches and lighters. They're very dangerous and can be hot. Only grown-ups should use matches and lighters. If you find matches or lighters laying around, don't touch them. Walk away and tell a grown-up that you found them. Remind a grown-up in your house that you will never touch matches or lighters, but they should not keep them out in the open either. So basically, it's grown-ups, your mom and dad, your older brother and sister, aunt and uncle, cousins, anybody that you live with that might be older. If they have lighters or matches, it's their responsibility to help you not get burnt by them. And it's also your responsibility to keep them in line and not touch them. So you want to make sure that they either keep them locked up or they keep them high on a cabinet to where they can't be touched. And basically I've got these matches and lighters are for grown-ups letter. And this is an agreement between you and the family that you live with. And you read through it. It says, our class is learning about fire safety. Today we learned that matches and lighters are for grown-ups. Your child learned that matches and lighters can be hot. If a child sees matches or lighter, he or she should tell the grown-up right away. It is an adult's responsibility to put the matches and lighters away or up on a high cabinet or out of reach of children. So please talk to your child about the importance of staying away from matches. Encourage your child to tell you if they find a matches or a lighter, and a parent message is to keep matches and lighters out of reach of children or in a locked cabinet. Together, we can keep your family safe from fire. And then your family signs this, and that you can bring it back to school and give it to your teacher, or you can just keep it if you want, and it's agreement between you and your family. And also, I have a little sheet here that kind of gives you a little exercise that you can do where you draw the lines of what's hot and what's not hot. And then there's a list of different things, and then you can determine with that. So once again, if you have any questions, talk this over with your teacher, talk it over with your parents, talk it over with any adults that live in your house. And if you can also feel free to call your fire marshal at the fire department anytime. All right, thank you.
Today I'm here to show you about stop, drop, and roll. When do we stop, drop, and roll? When our clothes if our clothes should ever catch on fire, we want to put it out as quickly as we can. So what we're going to do, should our clothes catch on fire, we're going to get down, lay down on the ground, cover our face, and roll. We're going to roll until the fire goes out. That, kids, is how you stop, drop, and roll, just in case your clothes catch on fire. Morning, boys and girls. My name's Kevin. I'm a firefighter here at Prairie Township, here to talk to you today about smoke detectors. Everybody should have one of these in their house. Does it look familiar? This is what's going to help you if there's a fire. This will go off. What kind of sound do we want to hear? Maybe it's going to go. So, if we hear that sound, what do we want to do? We want to get out of the house as quickly as possible. So you should have an escape plan along with your fire detector or smoke detector. So where are we going to put it? This will be right in your bedroom. So it's called beep where you sleep. So everybody get their smoke detector. If you don't have a smoke detector, contact us at the fire department and we'll help your family get one.
Hello, Fire Marshal Rick here again, and I'm going to teach you how to dial 911. Once again, I'm the only one in the room, so I'm taking my mask off. Okay, it's important to know when to dial 911. Okay, so whenever you have an emergency at home or at school, you can have a fire, a medical emergency, a car accident. If you're with your mom and dad in the car, and they can't dial 911, then you might need to. Also, things like stranger danger or anything like that, that is a reason to call 911. The most important thing is don't call 911 unless you really need it, okay? I need a pizza or I need another pop is not a reason to call 911, okay? You only want to do it for an emergency, and it's not a joke because real people risk their lives to come to your house as quickly as they can to try to help you. Okay, so it's very important that you use this only when in case of emergency. All right, now we're going to show you different ways from different cell phones to dial 911.
This is how you dial 911. Your phone might look like this. You press emergency and then the green call button or dial in 911. Sorry. Your phone also might look like this. Go from the bottom, dial 911 and press the green button.
DJ. I have a friend with me today. His name is Louie, and today I'm putting my mask on here as Louie steps in the picture. And today my buddy Louie here, he's a fireman also for Prairie Township, and he is going to put on his fire gear for you and the bottle. So one thing to keep in mind, when Louie is standing here, he's just good old Louie, right? And when he puts on his gear, he'll still be good old Louie, the fireman. So what we don't want you to do, boys and girls, is get scared when you see Louie possibly come into your house looking for you with all of his gear on and his bottle and his mask, because he's gonna look a lot different. So what we don't want you to do is hide, okay? Hiding's bad. We want you to stay, in case your house is ever on fire, there's emergency. We want you to stay by a door or a window against a wall. We don't want to hide below beds. We don't want to hide in closets. We don't want to hide below blankets. So when Louie comes in, he's making lots of noise. He's gonna yell for you, and we want you to come towards Louie, and that way he knows you're in the house, okay? So first thing Louie's gonna do is when we get a fire, Louie's gonna kick off his shoes here. There you go. Check out his socks. Any holes in his socks, Louie?
No holes.
No holes. All right, that's a good start. So, and Louie's going to take off his mask, okay? We usually don't get dressed with a fire with our mask on. Louie's putting on his hood. This hood protects his neck and his ears. This area over here. So the fire and the embers and the hot smoke and heat don't burn his neck. Louie has on his cool pants with his suspenders. Okay, these pants are really tough. They're waterproof, and they keep us safe from flames and high heat conditions. Now Louie's putting on his jacket. The jacket is made of the same material that his pants are. Again, it's going to protect us from high heat and smoke and flames. And if you look at his boots are steel toes. So I can step on his boot. He can drop a tool on his boot. He can kick a hole in the wall if need be, like drywall, like the stuff the inside of your house is made out of. That way we can get in, get out. He also has shin protectors in here. All right, so if he's walking in the dark and he hits his knee on something or his shin, it don't hurt him. So just like soccer players have shin guards, he has shin guards as well. All right, so next thing we're gonna do is he's gonna put his helmet on. That protects his pretty head, see? That way if anything falls on it, we don't want to mess up that nice head of hair. All right? Then he's going to put on his air bottle. All right, so I'm going to have Louie turn around for us here. He has an air bottle. The same air that we're breathing right now, boys and girls, is the same air that's in this bottle. It's just compressed, okay? He almost looks like a scuba diver, don't he? Scuba Steve. All right, so he cinched up his pack, and he's gonna put this thing high on his hips. And look, he's still the same old Louie, right? He's got his helmet on, his air pack, his fancy gear, a cool mustache, by the way, I forgot to mention. But he is still the same old Louie, right? Right, Louie?
Oh yeah.
Right, okay. So this is Louie's mask. This mask protects our face and our eyes and everything else from high heat and gases. This allows us to breathe inside bad environments, okay? So I'm gonna fix this here for him. And then Louie's gonna put on his mask, and then we're also gonna put him on air. So that way when Louie talks, he's still the same old Louie.
Thank you.
Yep, still Louie. So I'm gonna turn his bottle on for him. So when I turn his bottle on, you guys are gonna hear some funny noises. Those noises is just air going through his regulator here to let him know he has plenty of air. So which we can work about probably 20 minutes with the amount of air we keep in our bottle. Some guys can work longer, some guys work shorter. Now Louie, you're gonna do a little dance for him to turn that buzzer off. See that? He did the little shimmy. All right. Now he's gonna clip in. All right. So when firefighter Louie comes into your house, he's gonna be on his hands and knees. Okay. And Louie would have gloves on too, real big, thick gloves.
I get them on.
Yeah. So Louie's gonna put on his gloves. Those look brand new, kids. So I don't think Louie's seen any fire yet with those.
I've seen some fire.
All right.
A little bit.
He needs to whirl around outside and get them things dirty.
All
All right. So Louie comes in. Louie's gonna be yelling your name. Hey, Sue. Hey, Jerry. We're gonna try to find you. So start yelling, Louie.
Hey, Jerry.
You see how Louie's voice is
Here to help
muffled? He's still the same old Louie in there, right? So we don't want to hide from Louie.
Yep.
Even though Louie looks kind of scary and unfamiliar right now, he's still the same old Louie. Yep. So you want to do a little dance for him, Louie? Maybe do a little dance for the kids.
Do a little dance.
Do a little dance. Let's see it.
All right.
Who wants to see Louie dance?
Can't really dance.
Come
but,
on, do the running man. Anything?
What's a running man?
Come on, you know what the running man is.
I don't know what the running man is.
Do the twist and shout. Do a dance, any type of dance. It don't matter.
I'll do a little disco.
There, disco dance. There you go.
yeah.
A little staying alive.
That's all I got.
That's all I got. All right, boys and girls. So what we want to take away from this is that Louie is still just Louie. Even though he's all dressed up and he sounds like Darth Vader when he talks from Star Wars. If you haven't watched Star Wars, you need to watch it. All right. He has his mask on. He's going to be yelling. His voice is going to be different. So what we don't want to do is hide from Louie. We want to come to Louie, okay? That way he can grab you up, scoop you, and get you out of the house. All righty. We good to go, Louie?
Good to go.
Today I'm going to show you our fire truck here at the firehouse. Normally, under normal conditions, we would come to the school, do a school talk, and you guys would go out and see our fire truck, okay? Today, that's not going to happen. So we're going to virtually show you our truck, okay? So this is our fire truck. This thing weighs approximately 56,000 pounds, which is a lot. It carries 1,000 gallons of water, which would be 1,000 milk jugs to put that. So you guys understand it, 1,000 milk jugs, a lot of water. So up here, we have where our driver sits. So just like anything else, we have a steering wheel, brake pedal, a gas pedal. We got fancy lights, which I'll turn those on for you later on. Steering wheel, and this is where our driver sits. On our truck, we have 4 people that are usually always on our fire truck. The driver of this truck is the most important person there. He gets us there very safely. He knows how to use the equipment and tools. He knows what each equipment and tool does, and also knows how to run the fire pump, okay? So if we come back here, this is where the guys sit. On another video, you'll see a guy getting dressed in his gear and putting on his SCBA. The little bottle looks like a scuba tank. Well, if you look closely in the seats, we have one of these bottles. So the back of the seat is gone, and we have one of those, our SCBAs or our air pack sitting in the seat. That way when a fire comes and we get dressed, our alarm comes in, we get dressed, we hop on our seat, we put our pack on while we have our seat belt on. Again, we want to get there safely. Everybody in the truck wears their seat belt when the truck is rolling. This is very important, okay? You guys should be doing the same thing when you're going out with mommy, daddy, grandma, grandpa, or aunts and uncles, anywhere you go, is wearing your seat belts. So if we come back here to this compartment, we have various tools. So we have bolt cutters, we have a pry bar, we got big saw blades, okay? We have floor dry. It's almost like kitty litter, okay? If anything happens on the spills on the roadway, like oil or antifreeze from an auto accident, we can put this stuff down and it soaks up all the oil and water and things like that. If you come on this side, we have a big, huge pipe wrench, and we have this tool here called a Denver tool. Everything that we carry on the fire truck is typically big and heavy. This is like an axe, so it's really sharp right here. Then this is like a sledgehammer, like a big hammer. We can beat things open. We can bust a door open, bust through a wall. This is probably one of the best and most versatile tools on the fire truck, okay? Notice it's very heavy, and usually every tool we have is sharp. So next time you look at a fire truck, we want to look at the fire truck with our eyes and not touch anything. Everything on the truck is sharp and heavy, okay? We come back to this compartment. This is where the pump operator or the driver stores his gear. We got a little toolbox here, and if I take his gear out, we have some fire extinguishers, okay? So you guys should have fire extinguishers in your house, at least one working fire extinguisher. Usually if your mom and dad are cooking, or aunt and uncle, or grandma and grandpa is cooking, you'd always want to have a good working fire extinguisher somewhere close by your kitchen, okay? We'll put this back in here. On this compartment, we have a big electrical cord, okay? So this truck has a generator that generates electricity. We can pull this cord out that's connected to this box. When we show up to a scene, we can open this box up and we can plug things into it. Like if we want to play the Xbox, right? We could plug this into here. We can play the Xbox. We want to charge our smartphone or our iPad or a computer or any type of lights. We have more electrical cords here. We got some fancy floodlights up here. And we have tarps here. So when we come into a house, if we have a fire scene, we go into somebody's house, we lay these tarps down so we don't destroy their carpet walking in and out. And then back here is the fun part. So this is the brains of the fire truck. Okay, all these levers, you can push and pull these, you can open these up. So there's like, picture this as like one big huge pump that shoots a lot of water out of little garden hoses, okay? Each one of these valves, I open this up and that shoots water to a different garden hose. That's about the easiest way to explain it. So all these valves do different things. And us as firemen, we went to school and went to training to learn all this. We have to know how each and every one of these work. This drawer here has all the hose fittings. So if you're going to hook a different tip on to a hose, this is how we connect them. These unscrew. See? And then this would be like from a big hose right here going to a small hose. If we come around to the back of the truck, this right here is where we get the water in at. So we hook to the fire hydrant or fire plug, the big yellow things that stick out of the ground that you're not supposed to park in front of. This is what we hook to. Water comes into here and it takes it into our big pump. And this is what shoots the water out to all the fire hoses on the truck. Okay? Up here we have our ladders. So every fire truck has ladders in it. And ours are hidden right in the back of our truck. So we can pull out the ladder. And if we have to get on a roof or rescue a kitty cat out of a tree, this is how we would do it. All right, if we come to this side, we have this big, huge light right here. We can use this light to light up a scene. It's like a big, huge flashlight. If any of your dads or uncles are in construction, you can see how this light works. We turn the button on. Oh, is that bright? All right, pretty cool. And it gets brighter and dimmer. Then we just turn it right off. We'll set that over there. Then we got these big saws, okay? So if you ever see anybody cutting down a tree or cutting a block on a construction site, this is a saw that they would use. This saw, we would use this to cut in garage doors if we have to get in to rescue somebody. This saw here is designed to cut metal and big heavy things, big heavy metal. This is a chainsaw, okay? So if you see somebody cutting down trees, this is typically what they use. This saw has really sharp teeth on it. And this saw is special because we can cut through shingles and real strong wood that has nails and things in it, and it won't destroy our chain. And anytime we use a saw, we always use glasses and hearing protection and gloves. Right now I don't have gloves on because none of the tools are working, okay? So that's why I'm not wearing gloves, but if I were to use this tool, I'd have glasses on, hearing protection, my helmet, right? Gotta protect my head, especially this head, look how nice it is. And I'd have gloves on, okay? So this compartment here is our water rescue compartment. So we have some fancy helmets. Anytime, well, that was broke, look at that, see, found it, it's broke. So anytime we go on a water rescue, we'd wear this fancy helmet, all right? Or if I decide to bring my bike in today, I'd wear this when I'm riding my bike. Pretty cool. All right, so it's a real hard helmet. We'd wear this. We have life jackets. We have throw bags with rope. See? So if somebody's in the water and we can't get to them, I'd grab this bag. And I'd grab this little fancy carabiner. Okay, and I'd say, hey, can you hear me? I'm gonna throw you a rope bag. And then I would take it and I would throw it to them. Yep, and it would go a lot farther than that typically. Here, we'll try that again. I'd take this bag and I'd throw it to them. And I'd say, grab the bag. And as they grab it, I'd reel it back into them. Okay, and that's they'd grab a hold of the bag and I'd pull them to shore. All right. In this compartment, we have wood cribbing. Anytime we go in an auto accident, we need to stabilize our car, keep it safe so it don't roll around anywhere, and we use this wood cribbing. This is just a 4x4 piece of wood. All right, again, when you handle this, you gotta have gloves on because you don't want to get a big splinter. Okay, and we have more fire hose, another big bag of rope. See that up there? I'm not gonna throw that one out. I don't feel like reloading that one. That's a lot of work. Okay, and this compartment is our rescue compartment. If we have an auto accident or a car crash, and cars, crash together, this is the tools that we use. So many of you probably heard about the jaws of life. This is about the same concept. Okay, so we have a portable generator here. This generates power to run these tools that run off hydraulics. This is another big pump that we have on the truck that also runs these tools. We got some chain, right? This hasn't been used for a while. It's not coming out very easy. But this is log chain in case we need to drag something out of the roadway or stabilize a car. Keep the car safe, we'll use this chain. This is our fire hose. So our hose lines are automatically connected to our pump. So when we show up and there's a house fire or a dumpster on fire or a car fire, we'll pull out this nozzle, okay? And then we run with the hose, and then once we're ready, the engine operator will charge the line, so he'll turn on the water, okay? And then this valve opens up, and then the water shoots out of it, and that's how we put out a fire. Very cool. But all these lines are pre-connected to our pump, so we don't have to connect them once the lines come out of the hose bed. We go to this door, we have another seat, okay? And again, the air pack's sitting in the seat. So when a call comes in, the guys come in, they get dressed, we're ready to go. On this side, this is where our boss sits, okay? So he pretty much tells us what to do. So our boss, our lieutenant, is kind of like your guys' principal, right? So we have a principal too. He makes sure that we have all the right tools and the supplies that we have that we need to do the job correctly. And he also makes sure that the job gets done. So kind of like your principal does. And sometimes he has to discipline us too, okay? So sometimes we have to sit in timeout. I don't know if you guys still do that or not. But sometimes we get sit down in the office. If we act up or if we're mean to one another, we're not sharing, things like that, but he'll sit us down and talk to us about that, okay? So then we come to the front of the fire truck and we got the jaws of life, okay? So this is like a big, huge pair of scissors. These jaws open up all the way. And again, this is like a big pair of scissors. This tool is designed to cut metal, okay? It cuts and shears metal just like a big pair of scissors. So we use these on auto accidents. If we have to get somebody out of a car, we'll cut up the car and get them out. This other tool is the jaws of life. See these big old teeth? This is like an alligator mouth. So this thing opens up real wide like a gator mouth, and then we can close it and we can pinch steel. So if we have to pinch something or to open something up, this is what we use. And these tools weigh about 40 pounds each. So which would be like carrying 5 gallons of water, okay? So it's a lot real heavy, especially when we get all our gear on. and we're hot and we're sweaty and we stink. Not today though, because I showered, but after a big run, I might start stinking, okay? Stinking. Well, boys and girls, I hope you had a good time today. The next thing we're gonna do is a station tour. So thank you again. Stay in school, listen to your teachers, and good luck. Today we're going to go over our station tour at our Prairie Township Fire Department. You might have already seen videos with me in there today. So again, it's nice to see you guys again, all right? So this is the front of our firehouse. So when you come up to the firehouse, we have our little free library. So anybody can come up and get a book. Not too many coloring books in here, but there's some good reading. And if you grab a book, oh look, we might be in luck today, look. Disney. Yep, everybody loves Winnie the Pooh. All right, if you come up here, you can grab a free book, and if you want, you can please return it, and you can put another book in there too. So we always take donated books. Take one and then donate one. It'd be awesome. We have one of these at this firehouse, and another one at other firehouse out in Lake Darby. Okay, so we're gonna walk into the firehouse. This is how we come in. We got an entryway, and we have to use our fancy badge to get in. So when you walk in the firehouse, it's nice and inviting. We have a TV here. We got our parade axes. We got a flag, and this is some old stuff, old tools off of our previous fire trucks. We got some trophies for hose battles. Pretty cool. All right, we got our flags on the side. We're going to walk through here. Up in this area of the firehouse is our administrative offices. So this is where like the administrative assistant would sit in this office here. Okay, there you go. And if we come this way, our boss, so kind of like your guys' principal, sits in this office.
Morning, everybody.
Yep, say good morning, Chief. So this is Chief Scott. Most of the people call him Chief, even his kids. So he makes his kids call him Chief. So Chief is our principal. He gives us our tools and tells us what our job is and expects us to follow it and do good at everything. So kind of like your principal does with your teachers and with you guys. And as a principal, he's also our disciplinarian. So if we get in trouble, this is where we come, okay? I've been in this office many, many times for that reason, okay? Over here, we have our fire marshal. This is Captain Critchfield.
How you doing?
He's our fire marshal. So he goes around, makes sure that all the schools are safe before you guys go into school and start classes. He checks to make sure that the smoke detectors are working, the sprinklers, and all that good stuff, okay? Now we're gonna walk down the hallway. We have pictures. If you see the pictures on the hallway, most of these are black and white. So taken back in the 40s and 30s and 50s of our past. So we have our training room in here. So you can tell on the table we have a mannequin over there with some fancy tools beside it. Even though we are firemen and we went to classes, we still need to maintain our certifications. So we practice and we train almost every day, which is good. As we walk down the hallway, we have our supply closet. And the only reason why I'm showing you this because it has peanut butter and jelly in it, right? And we got honey, we got all of our supplies that we buy ourselves. We got mayonnaise. Who don't like mayonnaise? I like Miracle Whip myself, but this is mayonnaise. We got our spices for when we cook our own food, and we got coffee. You never have too much coffee in the firehouse. And then some of the guys like hot chocolate, but only real firemen drink coffee. We come in here. This is our day officer. This is his room. So we have a lieutenant that kind of makes sure that we follow directions and make sure we have day-to-day operations and things are taken care of. And this is where he sits. Kind of messy in there. Okay? Gonna follow me. If you come in here, this is our clean room. So we have a dryer and a washer because we do our own laundry, right? We come to work, we do our own laundry. Mommy and daddy or grandma and grandpa don't do that for us, okay? So we have to do our own laundry. We have an ice machine, so we make our own ice. Pushing these chairs out of the way. If you come in here, this is our woman's dorm. So we do have a couple female firefighters. So they have their own little area, nice beds. They have their own bathroom and shower. That way they're kind of away from all the guys, okay? And then this is the best part. This is the kitchen, okay? It's fairly dirty right now because the guys are out testing hose, which we'll go out there and I'll show you them. So they're testing hose. So when they come in, they'll feed on no-bake cookies, right? Got some no-bake cookies. We got a popcorn machine. We got a coffee maker over here. This is very important. And then we have refrigerators. So we have 3 units that work. We got 1 unit, 2 unit, and 3 unit. We work 24 hours on. So when you guys got up this morning at 7 o'clock to get ready for school, we were just coming on work. And then tomorrow morning, when you sleep in on Saturday, we'll be getting off work. So we're here for the full 24 hours. So 3 refrigerators. Let me see what these guys had to eat. Well, that looks like shrimp and something. I don't know. There's some eggs in there. Let's see what these guys had. Look, these guys had ribs and corn on the cob. So we try to eat pretty healthy, and we cook our own meals and we pay for our own meals. Over here we have the food lockers. So this has all the canned goods in it and all the dry stuff and some bread, peanut butter. So every unit, there's 3 of us, we have our own food locker, okay? Sometimes in our off days, what we like to do is we take their canned goods, okay? And we like to peel the labels off of them. So this is pizza sauce, and this is green pigeon peas, looks pretty good. But we'll peel the labels off of them sometimes, and that way when the guys go in to grab it, they don't know what they're grabbing. Could be pizza sauce, could be peas, don't know. But sometimes we like to play little tricks on people, and okay. So we walk through here. So this is our dormitory. This is where we sleep. So our bathroom's right there. There's a cow on the wall. Every firehouse has to have a cow on the wall. Okay. Make sure nobody's in here sleeping. So this is our dorm. This is where we sleep at. We got lockers. Okay. We have 8 beds in here, so 8 guys can sleep. Every guy has their own locker. Here's a picture of Marilyn Monroe up there. This is my bed, which I'm not sleeping in it right now, but this is where I would sleep if I was here. Okay. Excuse me. We're gonna walk back out this way. So if we come this way, this is where we relax at. Our boss up there, Chief Scott, you guys met him. He got us some real nice fancy chairs. We have a TV. Sometimes people bring their Xbox in and their PlayStation. We'll play games when we're not training and taking runs. So if you look at these chairs, real nice high back chairs, and they have our logo in them. So again, our fire chief got those for us, and they're pretty nice. So they're pretty comfortable when we get a chance to sleep in them. Again, we got more pictures on the wall. We got a guy sleeping, right? So we like to take funny pictures. We got one guy holding a bear, okay? But yep, lots of nice funny pictures of everybody. So then we walk out here, we have an exit sign, okay? So in previous videos, you might have seen that when we leave our house, if there's an emergency in here, we want to leave, right? So we're going to follow the exit sign. And this is very important. If you guys are ever out shopping, if you're out having dinner, if you're at Walmart, wherever you shop at, and there's an emergency, you want to look for the exit signs, okay? So once I exit this door, I'm going to exit the danger. If there's danger over here, I'm going to exit this door. And us firemen, we have a meeting place. Our meeting place is out in the training tower, okay? So we're going to leave this building. So if there's ever emergency here, I'm going to leave. I'm not going to gather up my personal belongings. I'm not going to grab my teddy bear, nothing like that. So if the house is on fire or something's bad happening, I'm going to leave this door, this room, and I'm not coming back in until help arrives, okay? So here we're going to go ahead and walk outside. So as I exit the building, we have a fire truck. This is our ladder truck. Right now they're testing hose.
Wait for the kids, Andrew. Hi, kids.
Yep. Say hey everybody. There's some firemen. Yep. They're training. We did some hose testing today. See this big building out here where the sheriff cars are at? That's our meeting spot. If anything bad happens, this is where we go. We have our own meeting spot. Remember, we don't go back inside the house to get anything. So if something bad happens, we're going to leave. We're going to go out there. We're going to call 911. Wait for help arrives. And it's the same thing you should do when you leave your house, okay? Out here in the bay, this is where our trucks sleep out at night. So we have our brand new fire truck. We have Andrew over here. Say hi, Andrew. Hi, all the kids. Okay, we got our chief's buggy. The chief, our boss, has his own vehicle, which is cool. We have another fire truck here. And all this stuff here is fire hose. This is all brand new fire hose, and we got to test every bit of this. Okay? So we got 5-inch yellow hose, which is really cool. It can hold a lot of water. Okay? And it's very heavy. That's the only bad thing about this, it's very heavy. We need big, strong guys like Brian over here walking, looking, and carrying 2 sections of hose. Muscles, right? And we got Andrew again.
No muscles here.
No muscles here, he says. Okay? So now we'll walk back in here. This is our medic. So if somebody's sick, they have a broken foot, or just not feeling good, they would call the medic. This medic comes with 3 people, and we take them to the hospital, okay? Most of our runs aren't very serious or life-threatening. Most of it's just people not feeling good. Maybe they fell, hurt themselves, so, and that's how we get them to the hospital, okay? We got a pop machine, and we got a mystery. We got a mystery selection, so nobody knows what you're getting, okay? You could get a Monster drink, which are bad for you. Kids, you shouldn't drink those. I don't drink those. You could get a Diet Mountain Dew. You could get a Faygo, Big Red. I love Big Red, okay? You get any one of those pops. Okay, we'll walk back through here. And we'll finish up here in the kitchen with some kitchen safety, okay? So as we walk into a kitchen, right, if we got younger brothers and sisters around, we don't want them to get a hold of knives or anything hot. So if we come over here to the stove, say your mom or dad or grandma, grandpa, aunt, and uncle was out cooking, and they leave a pan that's on the stove and it's hot, make sure you don't want to touch that, okay? If we see any sharp objects laying around and you don't want your little brothers and sisters to get it, make sure you tell a grown-up or an adult. One thing that's very important is that now, since you kids are home most of the time by yourselves, doing your schoolwork and virtual school and all the online learning, is that when we put things in a microwave, especially like microwave popcorn, make sure you read the bag for how long it goes in for, okay? On some of your microwaves, it has a button that says popcorn. So make sure you push that. We don't want to put microwave popcorn in the microwave for longer than like 4 minutes. It could possibly catch fire, okay? And not only that, but when you take it out, it's going to be extremely hot. So just be careful. Another couple things is oven. You make sure if you're at home and you're using your oven, make sure you turn it off when you're done. Again, hot pans. We don't want to walk away from a hot pan on the stove or food unattended on the stove, because what happens, it cooks down and it will possibly catch fire, okay? If anybody cooks with a lot of grease, if you have like oil in here, like olive oil or any type of vegetable oil, and you cook with that and it catches fire, we don't want to put water on it, okay? The oil is lighter than the water, and it will spill out, and then a fire will float across the floor, okay? So we just want to be careful with some kitchen safety. And again, just if you have any questions, you can always ask your mom or dad, your aunt and uncles, okay? Even in our firehouse, we have smoke detectors. and carbon monoxide detectors. These are very important. I know when we come and do the school talks, we always talk about having good safety practices. And one of those is having working smoke detectors inside your house, okay? That ends our video for today. I would like to say thank you to all the teachers and all the staff at Southwestern City Schools. You guys have been doing a great job. And also I want to give a nice shout out to my wife who works at Darby Woods Elementary. Go Cougar Cubs.